friends, how are you today? I hope you're doing well. Today I wanted to come to you and talk to you a little bit more about clairvoyance and give you a little bit of an example in real time of how it works. Now, this is something that is a message that has been coming to me, and I just realized that it was a message that was coming to me, and I don't know where it's coming from, but it is definitely a clear message. Now, you can follow along with this message as well. If you have been following along here, you'll know that a few days or weeks ago, I can't even remember, I posted a video called A Week of Story Times with Photos. And in that video, I posted this picture, a photograph of a cigarette on a garbage can next to a sign from the state of California informing everybody that everything in the area was cancerous because of the cigarette smoke. And I said that it might have been like a totem left for somebody so that other people wouldn't smoke. And then I moved on. And would you know that every day since that day, I have found on the ground single unlit cigarettes, or partially lit, like lit up and put down, or completely brand new. And I kept seeing them, and I usually don't have my phone with me on our walks just because I'd rather not have the phone near me. But for some reason that day when I found that cigarette, I had the phone. And I thought really, I kept thinking something of it, but thinking nothing of it until last night. I don't have a picture of this one, but there were 3 cigarettes like broken and crumpled up on the ground, right around a garbage can, like brand new cigarettes, broken and crumpled up. And to me, that is a message from somebody that they have stopped smoking, or somebody like really strongly wants to stop smoking or has stopped smoking and wants to get that message to me. I don't know the only person I know in my entire life, I'm not even joking, that smoked was one of my grandmothers. She passed away in 2016. So if she finally just stopped smoking, that's crazy. But I'm not exactly sure where the message is coming from. But I was on my walk this morning with Clementine, and look what I found right in front of the door to a store. I'm sorry, the picture's kind of blurry because there was people inside the store. But right in front of the door to a store, an almost completely brand new cigarette just laying right there in the crease. So whoever is stopped smoking, congratulations. I got the message. I don't know who it could possibly be, but obviously it is a message. Or maybe it's just a message in general about the collective. Maybe the people in general will stop smoking. I hope so. But whatever it is, there's the message. It's clear. Yay! All right. Love you. Bye. Okay, friends. So it is a few days later. And I'm glad I wasn't able to post the video before because I have an update. I really do think that I know why I've been getting those cigarettes. In true Dark World Lightwork fashion, I thought it might have something to do with my grandmother just because she's the only person that I had in my life that smoked. And that is a very important part of the story. My grandmother, I just said this, was the only person in my immediate family that smoked. Now, she had a brother and a sister who smoked, but they weren't around like immediately. And then my grandmother on my dad's side also had a brother who smoked cigars. And every one of those people was always ostracized and chastised for doing it. And my grandmother who smoked went on to have 4 children, my mother and 3 other daughters. And would you believe that none of her children ever smoked? Not even casually, not even as a as a phase at all. Not only that, but they never dated any smokers. And they each of them had 2 children, and none of their children smoke. Now that is what is called a family banding together, whether it is consciously or unconsciously, to nip a generational curse in the bud. Now, the reason that these women likely did this is because each and every one of them had major health issues that were likely related to the fact that their parents smoked. Now, my grandfather also smoked, but he was not around at all. And 2 of my aunts and my grandmother all got cancer at the same time, breast cancer. 2 of my aunts have severe thyroid issues. My mother has major issues with all of her joints and all of her tissues. And that is just something that I believe on a cellular level, these women knew that if they continued in that direction, the bloodline wouldn't last because they would be creating offspring that was not going to survive. And so it was a stronghold in this family line on both sides because my mother picked spouses that were not smokers. And nobody on my father's side really is a smoker either, at all, other than the one who smoked cigars. And that is something that you have to be strong about it. And these people did this without realizing it. However, they also kept generational curses going without realizing it. And that is the moral of the story. It's like you can break generational curses without realizing them, and you can continue them without realizing them. But I often talk about how irritating my family is and how much they did me wrong. But this is Dark World Light Work, and it wouldn't be my life if I didn't have a bright, shining example of the breaking of a generational curse. And it's a beautiful thing because, like, I had basically 3 boyfriends in my life that I would call kind of official. And one of them, he was only my boyfriend while I was partying for a few months. And he was a smoker, but he never smoked around me. He had one time a pack of cigarettes in his pocket and they fell out and I saw it. And he was so ashamed that he never even put cigarettes in his pocket around me before. He said in that moment, he realized that the only reason he even had them in his pocket was because they were a comfort to him. And he was never, ever going to light one up in front of me. So he didn't even need to have them in his pocket in front of me. And that kind of energy is because my entire bloodline was protecting me from smoke and smokers. And do you see how strong it was? The energy of the ancestors, the energy of my aunts, the energy of my mother protected me from the smoke. And that's that same energy that my mother didn't have for me when it came to my success in life in a financial way. And then everybody else didn't really care because I'm not their kid. And that's just how I end up in such dire straits right now. It is very important to acknowledge when you are maybe continuing a generational curse so you can nip it in the bud, to nip generational curses in a bud as a village, as a family. And it is of the utmost importance to support those in the bloodline who are breaking generational curses, even if it's a curse that you yourself were not able to break. And there is why I found all those cigarettes all over the place. So this was basically a little trip through clairvoyance in real time. Sometimes I get the message, I don't know where it's coming from, I don't know why, and then I'll sit with it for a while, and it comes to me. Yay! Dark World Light Work in real time, baby! Love you. Bye!